Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and I'm ready to give you my craft room tour of all of the work I've been doing in my craft room for the past couple of days. I've got it all pretty much done, and let's go ahead and get started with the tour. I have some of my progress videos I'll link below in the description of this one if you're on YouTube, and if you're on my blog I'll also link to those as well on my blog. So this first section right here is where I had my printer on a leg of my desk. It was a leg that I don't use anymore. But anyway, first off, I took all of my ribbon shelving that I was using for storage of inks and stains and stuff like that. I took my ribbon shelves that are originally supposed to be used for displaying pictures, that these came from IKEA. I used those to display some of my 12 by 12 layouts. The picture frames are from Michaels. They were $19.99, on sale for $9.99, and then I had a 25% off framing coupon. So I went ahead and bought a whole bunch of those. Well, I bought 5 frames, so I have five different photos displayed around my craft room. And then this right here is my shelving. This is a Best of Shelving unit that came from IKEA. And pretty much everything I did to my room, I used stuff I already have. I think the whole update with buying some bins and some other display stuff cost me maybe just a little over $100. So I thought that was a pretty good way to update my room. On the top I have my Canon printer. I have a Pro 9000 Mark II printer. I love this printer. It does the photo quality is phenomenal. And it's also a large format, so it does 12 by 12 paper if I wanted to. It even does larger than that. Right next to my printer I have these 2 containers, and these are tins that I got at Michaels a while ago, again on sale, clearance, and I use those to store my Studio Calico stamps. So these are my Studio Calicos, and I keep them out because I use them a lot for Project Life, and a lot of them came from some of the kits, because I do subscribe to the Studio Calico scrapbook kit, and they also have a new card kit, but I'm not going to subscribe to that one. Next to that is my Ali Edwards Technique Tuesday stamps, and again I use these a lot for Project Life, and I do subscribe to them, so I have a lot of their stamps. I've been doing that for a little over a year now, and I also would purchase a whole bunch of older sets when they were on sale at different sites and stuff. But a lot of these you can get, if you don't subscribe, you can usually get them afterwards, like on Simon Says Stamps, 2 Peas in a Bucket, places like that. So that is my stamp storage for stamps that I use for Project Life. The next shelf is where I have my Silhouette Cameo, and that will stay on the shelf until I'm ready to use it, which I will put on a little table right next to my desk for cutting. And I made a little cover when I got my sewing machine at Christmas time. I made, my first attempt at sewing, and I was pretty pleased with how it came out. I winged it, so it came out pretty good. But that's where my Cameo is going to be. Next to that I have a little section. This bucket of inks right here will go into my stamp organizer once that comes in. I got that, ordered one from organizemore.com. And then I have these 3 little tins that all match. They came from Michaels probably about 2 or 3 years ago. The back one, that one right back there, I use that to store some embellishments that I've already pre-made. And then I have my acrylic stamps right here. That one's an empty one. And then this right here is my little Rolodex file that I made with the Paper Tray ink stamp set called, I think it's called Desktop File or something like that. But this is where I'm going to keep track of my different inks and stuff like that, and maybe some sketches and so on. The next shelf is mostly jar stuff. In the back there, right back there, I have a big jar that has buttons in it. That's an empty jar. I have these 2 bowls that I'm going to bring out on my desk when I'm scrapbooking, just to throw little embellishments and stuff in. And then back there is some tea lights for my candle. And this jar right here has a couple dies in it because they have to be filed. These 2 glass jars I got for 25 cents at a yard sale, and the top one I keep my little flare buttons and badges in, and the bottom one is empty. And then this right here is what I keep my washi tape in. I got this at Target. And again, it was on sale. Got this a couple weeks ago, and it's perfect for my washi tape. It's what you use like to put your ketchup and mustard condiment, Lazy Susan. It does spin. So that's what I use to keep my washi tape in. The next section is where I have my Big Shot, and I also have these two binders. I did a while ago, I did a video on my binder storage, but I did have to update it. But I wanted to show you what I'm doing with my nestabilities. Okay, for my nestabilities, I'm using a binder system as well. This one is a Martha Stewart binder that I got at Staples, and I keep one of those Smashbook rubber bands on it because it matched. But in here is where I have to do this with one hand. In here is where I keep all of my nestabilities. Not that I have a ton of them, but I have quite a, a nice little collection, enough to keep, it's enough for me. But what I did was I used the Martha Stewart sleeves, and what I like about these sleeves is they have little, like, flaps, so I don't have to worry about anything falling out. I was trying to keep them in these little CD holders that go in binders, but they were just a cheap quality, and they flopped over, so I was keeping them on my Clip It Up. But what I did was I put them all into this little system and labeled them with what the dies are. A while ago I did a video on my paper tray ink dies, and I kept those in a binder, but I kind of outgrew my binder. So what I did was I picked up this binder, which is from, it's an American Crafts binder, and I picked up some new page protectors. These are 8.5, mostly 8.5 by 11. This one has 4 sections in it, so I can use this for storing my dies. I just took, instead of recreating my system, I just took the pieces out of the old system and put them into the new system. So all I had to do was buy a new binder and some fairly cheap, I think they were like $6 for a package of 20 or 25 of these, and they went a long way. I don't use the back sides because I can always fill them in later. So I got this 4-section one, and then I also bought ones that have 2 sections for 4x6 photos is originally what they were for. So, but that worked out great. So I have a bigger binder now for my paper tray ink dies. Okay, the next 2 shelves I have these canvas totes came from Target. I was using those for my desk storage, the cubbies that are underneath my desk, but I found new cubby or little baskets that are a little sturdier for being taken in and out of the drawers or the sections a couple of times. That these got kind of floppy. The handles got floppy is what kind of happened. So but these fit perfectly in my shelving, and I had 3 of the larger ones and then 2 smaller ones. So let me show you what's inside. Okay, my first one is what I use to keep some of my old embellishments, and even a couple different like Tim Holtz, and lots of these were from clearance. So that's what I use one of these big ones for, is for embellishments. This one I use for all of my twine. So I have my jars of twine in here, and then I have my loose twine. And the third bigger one I use, my mom got a tip from somebody on YouTube, and I'm sorry, I don't know who that YouTube person was, and that was to take your thickers and put them into 6x12 bags. And I'll tell you what, this is fantastic because I have so many thickers that the letters would fall off and be down at the bottom, or the bag would rip. So this worked out great. So what I did was I took all of my thickers and put them in these 6x12 bags. And my mom ordered those from eBay. I'm not 100% sure who they were, but if you just do a search for 6x12 Ziploc bags, or whatever you want to call these bags, that you can probably find them and use those for your storage. My last 2 organizers are 2 smaller ones. This top one I use for my paper tray ink felt, and then the bottom one is for all of my bling. And I don't really use bling that much. On occasion, if I'm doing something a little bit more formal, I'll use it, so I don't have to buy bling for a while because I have quite a few. I always buy it when it was on clearance. Okay, so that was my storage for my canvas totes. The next bottom shelf is where I have 2 wicker baskets. They fit in my shelving perfectly. And I got these again a while ago at Michael's, 40% off, I believe they were, something like that. But I like the color of the baskets and the weave and stuff of it. This one right here is where I have a couple of mini albums that I've done. And I just keep that stored in there. And that bottom one over there is empty for future storage of whatever I decide to put in there. Okay, next up, I just thought I would go, we did a quick video already on my closet, but I thought I would just go into more detail. On the door, I have my paper tray ink ribbon, and I use the ribbon rings to store those and just put those on little binder rings and then hang those on the 3M clips, which I just have on my door. So that's where I store my satin ribbon. So now let's take a look at what I have in the closet. Alright, on the side wall is where I have all of my rails that you can get at IKEA, and I use those for my punch storage, so that goes all the way practically down to the floor. And I have my old paper tray ink, I have Martha Stewart, EK Success, and some of the larger EK Success up on the top. On the very top shelf, and hopefully you guys can see this, on the very top shelf is where I keep all of my photos. The next shelf are 2 IKEA boxes in a glass jar. Those are all I Am Roses and regular flowers. And the glass jar is where when I open a package, I usually dump the rest of it into the glass jar. The next shelf has 2 boxes for future storage. They're both empty. And then I have two boxes, one for cards I received and cards I've completed. The next shelf is where I keep my extra adhesive, my re-inkers, and embossing powder that I don't use too much. And then again, I still have 2 boxes for storage. I have moved my Big Shot out into my room and put my Cuttlebug in here. I only really use that for when I'm doing videos because it takes up less floor space for filming on my desktop. And then I have 2 empty boxes that were storage for envelopes, and then I don't even know what I had in the other one. I think that was already empty. On this section right here are 4 Jetmax cubes, and these are pretty much my the 4. I'm sorry, I have 6 Jetmax cubes. The 4 bottom ones are all my Sizzix dies, along with plates and stuff like that. And then these 2 right here are additional storage. This first unit right here in these 3 shelves, I keep office supplies stuff in. The top here is some stuff for future scrapbook pages, like our trip to New York. I have an extra paper trimmer there. And then I have my big paper trimmer, which I'm not too keen on. It's great for chipboard, but I don't use it for everyday use. These drawers of my ribbon shelving are for ribbon. I have laces and stuff like that in these 2 drawers. So that's what's in there. On the side wall is where I have my scrapbook layouts, scrapbook albums. I have my first volume to my Project Life album, and then I have a couple extra volumes up there. And then the very side is where I have my stamp catalog as well as some extra Project Life stuff. This next shelf is some embellishments that I put in this iris container. I did a video on this before that has all of my like beads and stuff like that. So that's here. I have scrapbook container with scrapbook scraps or cardstock scraps, and then pattern paper scraps. And then these units right here, I have just like some wires and stuff like that. And then down on the next shelf is kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of different stuff. I have like my iTop and a couple of other things, like those are all my 7 Gypsies stamps that Terry sent me a while back. So, and I have extra acrylic blocks. And then the next shelf is all mailing supplies for mailing out stuff. This section right here has all of my Lindy Stampgang sprays. I don't keep those out. I don't use sprays as much as I used to right now, so I have those stored right here, but I can easily get at them. I just have to bring the whole box out, which is no big deal, which is good because then they're all in one spot. So I have 2 boxes for those because I have 2 different types of sprays. And then I have 1 more Jetmax cube, so I really got the most I could out of my closet. And in here, I have my border punches. I have a couple miscellaneous punches in here. And then the bottom shelf is all of my seasonal punches, like Halloween and Christmas. Okay, so that was my closet. Next to my closet, I have 2 of these boxes that, again, I had got from, I think, Joann's. I had purchased these a while ago. Used them originally for something else, stopped using them, put them away, now they're back out again. So this top one is where I keep all of my wood-mounted rubber stamps. And then the bottom one, which is a little bit bigger, has, I won't open it, but it has material and stuff like that in it. On the back of my room door is where I keep my Cricut mats, my unused silhouette mats. And then right next to there, which is where I used to keep my punches, is now my CD rack that I use to store all of my stamps, all my clear stamps. I have paper tray ink, mostly paper tray ink. And then on the bottom here, stamps way down at the bottom, are stamps that I don't use in the CD cases that I don't use very often. So they're kind of ones that I purchased a long time ago. Next to that, I have some close to my heart stamps. I have some DVD cases that I purchased a while ago that have some older Stampin' Up! Stamps that I didn't want to get rid of. And then I have extra cases, and then there's more paper tray ink. And on the side over here is all of my, that would be, sorry, those two sections right there, those are all my Lawn Fawn stamps. So I use that now as my storage for my stamps. Originally I kept my punches here, so now I have a nice section, and when my door's open, that kind of area is a little bit hidden. Okay, next up is my Expedite from IKEA, and originally I was using that as a part of my work desk. I had it laying down, but now it stands up, and I use that for my paper storage. The 4 bottom drawers right now is used for some office supply stuff. And then I have one of these wire baskets. This is one I showed in my little progress video. And that one I use for my 8x8 October afternoon pads. Next to that is my 12x12 paper. I have some, that's pattern paper there. And then I have cardstock and then more pattern paper. And those storage files are from Oriental Trading. And they are great. They are perfect height to fit inside of the Expedites. The other ones, the Crapper Hopper ones, they're too tall. So, and as a matter of fact, if you have Crapper Hopper ones and you want to put them in Expedite, I took mine and cut the tops off so they would fit. I have another one of those bins that I got from TJ Maxx, and those hold my 6x6 pads. Then in this section here is my another bin that holds some 8.5 by 11 paper, as well as some of other cardstock and my paper tray ink 8x8 pads. On top of my Expedite, I have my Copic Markers, and those caddies that I have them in are actually from a company that is no longer in business. I think it was called Studio 3 Solutions. But anyway, I use those for my Copic Markers, and then I also have some other pens and markers and stuff like that in the in that unit right there. And on the top I have a album that Terry made me. It's a calendar that Terry made me a long time ago. Well, 2010. Actually, it was 2009 when she made this. And I just keep that out for display, even though it's from 2010. I still love it, so I keep it out for display. And next to that is a mini album I made for my past Christmas. And then I get a lot of questions about how I when I take photos of my cards, that little spiky thing that I put underneath, that is called a floral frog, and I have 2 of these. You can find those at Michael's in the aisle that has the river rocks, so it's with like the dried flowers and stuff like that. So I love using those for displaying my cards when I'm taking pictures. And then I have next to that is my storage spinny thing for my ink dabbers. Okay, on the wall, which is right above my wonderful radiator, I have another picture frame, Ribba shelving with a 12x12 layout on it. And then underneath that I have one of my favorite pictures that Ethan did in school, which I have to get a picture frame for that. Okay, the next wall is my Making Memories storage unit. On the top shelf I have a jar that has some miscellaneous buttons, a cute little candle bird cage, and then I have some Martha Stewart, those are those micro beads, and the one next to it on the end there is the Martha Stewart flocking powder, which I've never used, don't know why I bought it. And then underneath there these are all spice jars that you can get at IKEA. I have all of my paper tray ink buttons stored there. And then I have some of my favorite Glimmer Mist My Mr. Huey sprays are there. I have a couple extra jars. I have some, I'm starting to purchase the re-inkers from Paper Tray Ink for the new inks, and then a couple of other acrylic paints, some stickles, and then some ink right now, ink daubers, or what do you call those? Ink spots that I need to find a place for. Hopefully they'll fit in my new unit when I get it. Next, or right underneath that, I have my typewriter, and then that is my Alex storage unit, which comes from IKEA. This one is the 9-drawer unit, and I use that for storing all different types of embellishments, which I'll show you in a second. Next to that is my one of my chairs that I had in my room before that I no longer need 2 chairs, but I still keep it in here for if I'm working on something else, if I set up a table, because now I have plenty of space in the center of my room. And I have my sewing machine on top of there, and then underneath there is my little caddy that has all my thread and stuff like that. For my Alex unit, my top drawer I use for all of my label stickers, so October Afternoon, My Mind's Eye, a whole bunch of other ones, so they go in this top drawer here. My next drawer is all different types of embellishments. These are Scrabble pieces that my mom found at a yard sale. So she bought those because they're wooden and which are hard to find. And then I have some tags and labels and stuff that I plan on using for paper tray ink, I was going to say, for Project Life. The next drawer is, again, more stuff for Project Life, a lot of newer journaling cards, some stickers that I still need to go through. So a lot of this stuff needs to be gone through. This is, I have some brads in here, so lots of different things. This next drawer is some more newer, these are my newer My Mind's Eye journaling stuff that I got. This is a kit that I purchased from Michelle, what was her last name? I don't remember her last name, but her blog is Mishmash. And then again, some more My Mind's Eye stuff that I just recently purchased. These came from Terry, so I have those in there. The next drawer is a little Project Life caddy. It's actually one of those Martha Stewart things from Staples, and I could actually just take this right out of here over to my desk, and this is what I have my date stamper in, some tags and journaling things in here. And then next to that is my little box that has all of my veneers in from Studio Calico. So let me just turn that around and I can show you what they look like. And these are just, this is just one of those bead sorters. So I have a lot of my veneers in here. So that's where I store those. Alright, the next drawer is all of my Project Life. I got the Cherry Edition, which comes now in the new tray, and then underneath that I bought a spare tray to keep some of my other journaling cards and stuff like that in. And then back here is my Clementine collection and some extra journaling cards. The next drawer is alphabet stickers. So that's what I have in here, but actually this I want to move into one of the smaller drawers because the bottom drawers are deeper. And then I have an empty drawer, and I believe this bottom one is empty as well. So lots of room for more fun scrapbooking supplies. Okay, next up is my favorite place, which is my workspace. Above my workspace, I added 2 ribbon shelvings with some of my favorite scrapbook page layouts. I have my computer, and I'll go through the stuff on my desk in a minute. My desktop comes from IKEA, and the bottom are actually these cubes that you can buy from Target, and I have 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and I have 2 different styles because I wasn't sure. Originally I bought those units right here, which they're great. They're nice and deep, but I didn't like them for the front. I just didn't like the way they looked. So the front, what I did was originally I had my teal baskets. These baskets I got from TJ Maxx, and they're much sturdier canvas. They're actually a heavy chipboard on the inside. that keeps them from being floppy. So I'll show you what's inside those. Okay, this one right here is all of my adhesive. I use my ATG fits in here, my glossy accents, all of my couple extra spare adhesive runners and dimensionals and stuff like that. The next basket is just some office supplies, notebooks, some index cards, and post-it notes. And then right next to that is where I have my score buddy. Down on the bottom are more inks. These are all my distress inks that I'm probably going to leave here because I don't use my distress inks as much as I used to, but I don't want to put them in the closet either because I want them to still be out and where I can reach them. Alright, on my other side of my desk, this top drawer is all my stuff for stamping. I have all of my acrylic blocks, my baby wipes, my masking, so is what I keep in that top one. The next one are just miscellaneous tools like my heat gun, my glue gun, and just some extra like the Tim Holtz sanding paper, some blades for my trimmer. And then the bottom one is all little embellishments. This is where I keep my, I use these, what do you call these things? I know they have a name. I'm going to think they're called Snap-Its or no, Lockables. That's what they're called. You can get these at Joann's. I got these a long time ago when they were on sale. And I have one for Brad's, one for grommets, and a couple of other, like this one has all Tim Holtz stuff in it. This one has little Tim Holtz hangers and some other little things. So I keep those here because I use, I have them quick reach for working on projects. Okay, on the side of my desk is stuff that I used to have inside my closet. This top drawer is all envelopes. So I have my basic card envelopes and some other, like these little coin envelopes that I was using for layouts. I have little envelope or card protectors in here, so that's what I keep in my top drawer. My middle drawer is where I keep all of my tags. So I have all of my tags in here. And then in the bottom drawer is all bags. So I have envelopes, tags, bags. Okay, so next up is my workspace. I picked up this, I showed this in my progress video. I got this from TJ Maxx and I use that as my tool caddy. So I have my scissors, my Tim Holtz stapler, my corner chomper, my crocodile, extra scissors and stuff like that is in there. Okay, next to that is this file unit that I got from TJ Maxx as well. There's one that actually is 3 sections high. This one's 2, and it fits perfectly on my desk. It's not meant to be hung on a wall. It just is a standing unit. And the top part is where I keep some of my favorite paper tray ink colored paper. And the bottom is where I keep my basics like my craft cardstock, my white cardstock, and stuff like that. I have this little jar bowl that I got on clearance a while ago from TJ Maxx that I use to throw like my notepads, and if I'm working on a project I'll even use that in there. So that usually just sits on the side of my desk. I have these little jars right here that I got from a yard sale for a dime, and I use those to keep my paper clips in. And then over here, right there, is it's a pencil caddy, but I also use it to store my paper tray ink longer dies, my border dies. So those go in there along with my favorite Avon hand cream. And that's also came from TJ Maxx. And then I have my favorite, my trusty notebook. Underneath my glass top fits a 7 Gypsies tray perfectly. Right now I have just a post-it note in there. I'm addicted to post-it notes. I love them. This actually is the post-it notes that I was using to write all my room dimensions on, and when I was trying to figure out my plans for my craft room. So I have that just underneath there. And then I get a lot of questions about what mat I use on my craft desk. Mine's from Making Memories. I believe I ordered mine from Amazon. And it also works perfectly in the center of my desk as a mouse pad, keypad, storage, you know, that all fun stuff. But it's also what I use when I'm filming my videos for my Stampin' on Friday videos and stuff like that. And then I have at my desk a counter height chair that Scott got me for Valentine's Day, and it's perfectly here. It's the perfect height for my desk, and on my desk is my beautiful October Afternoon Woodland Park collection that I just got. So anyway, okay everybody, that is my craft room tour. Oh, and I don't know if I showed this before in another video, but that is my Organize More ink caddy. I do have some space in there that I'm going to see if my Jenny Bolin will fit in there. If not, then I'll use my new one that's coming for my Jenny Bolins and stuff. So that's my craft room tour. I hope you guys like it. I hope I gave you guys some inspiration of some storage ideas. And, oh, I forgot to show you. That's that tall basket. I think in my progress video I said I hope I can use that to store some 12 by 12 collections, and it fits perfectly. So there you go. All right, everybody, if you have any questions about any of the storage ideas that I had, or, you know, anything that I maybe forgot to go over, let me know. And then here's one last view of my craft room. Hey, Big Big, do you like Mommy's craft room? Yeah, I thought so.